Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Fantastic Four issue 22, 2022. Oh yeah, crazy cover there with Reed getting chewed on by vampires, which continues on in this issue. So, this is the tie-in, and I would recommend reading this after Blood Hunt issue 5 if you are if you're reading stuff in Blood Hunt issue 5, like the main event. So, let's get to it. I'm Alicia Masters, sculptor. Right now I'm surrounded by hundreds of survivors in Madison Square Garden. Reed Richards got us here safely through great effort. He's had to stretch himself, mentally and literally, to keep us alive. Keep us all alive. He's saving us from vampires. We're resting, trying to recover under the full spectrum lights that are keeping us safe. Until suddenly, they aren't there anymore. The lights, I felt it too. What do we do? The next three things happen all at once. I hear doors are being forced at the entrance. I hear breaking glass above us. And I hear a small, shuddering sigh from Reed. It's so quiet I don't think he even realizes he made the noise. It's the sound of bone-deep fatigue. The man needs rest. Even Mr. Fantastic can't do this again, but he must. As we see it, we get in, see the vampires coming in at him. Very effective. And then we get this spread, which really showcases Reed doing what he can. And so he does. Everyone say, "Arg, stay beneath me." He stretches out, covering us like a roof. He gives everything he has and then keeps going. Like Ben and Sue and Johnny and everyone else who's ever been a member of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards does what he can. Very true. And I like the foof and those vampires just blasting on. But the thing is, Reed is in trouble here. I get up quickly, but as I do, my hand touches something wet and warm and metallic. Reed, are you bleeding? That emergency stretch tore me, Alicia, but that's the least of our worries. I'm keeping my wound inside to protect from vampiric infection. Yeah, a vampire, Mr. Fantastic would not be good. As we see him bleeding there, it's like, I hand it to the artist there. You really, it's a hard thing to do, and you nail it. Where do we go? The basement? That's the only option left, and it's where the generator is. But we have to move now, or very soon we won't be able to move at all, as we see Reed getting gnawed on more. And then we switch to Arizona earlier. Sue, you're exhausted, first trying to keep that invisibility field in the sky, and now with the force field protecting us. It ain't sustainable. I just won't sleep, Ben. I'll stay awake. Don't let me fall asleep. You're only human, Sue, which means you're going to fall asleep eventually, whether you want to or not. When you do, I got an idea. Maybe this is stupid, but I do make light. Who says I can't make light how the sun does? Full spectrum solar radiation. Yeah, UV and everything else. That'd do it, right? That's something I could do to fight vampires. I'm like, that's Johnny. He may not know what other people know about things, but he's like, hey, I make light. Can I make sunlight? I mean, maybe. But how are you going to know when you're making the right kind of light, Johnny? Ain't there spectrographs and whatnot you got to know? Nah, see, I'll know I've got it right when they run from it. Flame on! And it's like, he goes through a couple of them like, oh, here we go. That's not it. No, that's not it either. Okay, how about, aha! Try to feed on my family, eh, vampires? How's that working out for you, huh? Sun's out, guns out, jerks. And it's like, yes, Johnny, yes. I got night watch this. The rest of you go sleep and we'll trade places in the morning. Go on, I got this, promise. Human Torch, baby, flame on. As we see the vampires run and are on fire and shit. I'm like, good job, Johnny. We get back to Alicia. Reed has to get smaller or that terror is going to get bigger. He contracts, pressing us together, but keeping us safe. We move and are moved down to the basement. I can't help but think that Reed's blood left behind us buys us a little time. He stretches himself once more, expanding to fill the space to make sure there's no vampires in here with us. He ensures there's no way in, that every steel door down here is secure. His wounds tear bigger, and then he retreats, becomes himself again. Alicia, and tries to heal. I've got you, Reed. I got you. As we see him kind of moving everybody, and this is a really, again, I talk about the objectives for comics because of the superpowers. This is a really different kind of way for Reed to utilize his powers to create passages and stuff to save these people. And then we see him get back and he is just ripped to shit. It's like, oh god. Is anyone here a doctor? Please, we need a doctor. I'm a third-year med student. My name's Priya. He's injured, Priya. There's a tear. I can see that. Does this normally happen when he stretches? Normally, don't need to go so far so fast. Normally give myself more time. Had to. Okay, relax. Save your strength, Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Richards. Mr. Fantastic. Reed is fine. I could stitch them together, but I'm going to need tools. If Sue were here, she'd form them with force fields. If Johnny were here, he'd sterilize anything we found. And Ben would find the help that, he would help to find the bland things, just like I can. Okay, everyone, listen up. We need scissors and thread and boiling water. The lights may be gone, but we still have power. We've got a whole stadium basement to search, and Reed Richards is counting on us. Move, move, move. It's like, there you go. Do it, do it. Alicia, part of the family, man. She knows what she's doing. Get back to Arizona. As we see, of course, the thing, he's like Reed. They're not getting at his ass. Same with Johnny. As they pretty much build a force field kind of like, trailer. Well, we ain't staying here and waiting to be vampire chow. All aboard, kids. We're off to find help and be help if we can. The first stop is the neighbors. Gracie and her husband have a root cellar under their house. If they made it there in time, then we can help. Reed, can't keep Dark Force invisible or hold it back with force fields. Johnny's flames keep vampires away. When to help others. Find us. That's great to see that note there. Later, so they get people out of the cellar, and Sue's able to pretty much take on some vampires. Later, we see Johnny taking on some vampires, and then we see them just building their little cadre and their little trailer thing. It's like, oh, cool. Now, we see Johnny just buzzing around the trailer. We see the kids. We see Joe almost get grabbed by a vampire. I like that progression. It's like, oh, shit, oh, shit. But before we do that, we get back to Reed and Alicia. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Raju. Hey, thank you for saving our lives. You got any idea how to fix this? I'm working on it. You said improved, Reed. Indeed, the stitches help keep the flesh in place, which lets me focus on knitting myself back together. It's like stretching into myself. It's like, holy shit, that's an effective and crazy-ass use of his powers. Let me guess. Now that you're not in danger of bleeding out, you want to focus on solving vampirism again. I have to, Alicia. I have to come up with a way to arrest and reverse magical vampiric infection, and if I can't, well, people are going to die. But you're realizing you're at the same impasse you were before. It doesn't matter if you're the smartest guy on the planet or the stupidest guy in the room. You can't solve what doesn't make sense, and magic is irrational. It breaks the rules of the universe. Kind of, but not really. Like, the rules that you observe. Magic has its own kind of rules. That's a remarkably astute summation, Alicia. My entire foundation of knowledge is useless. It simply doesn't apply here, and thus I've lost before I've even started. Then you have to acquire new knowledge. That's not what I meant. Look, I wanted to tell you a story, Reed. I prefer direct statements to metaphorical narratives with arguably oblique moral lessons. Okay. I want to tell you a direct statement, Reed. Stop trying to cure vampirism. Pardon? You don't understand magic, yet you're trying to undo one of its oldest and most enduring curses. Very true. You're a caveman trying to build a rocket ship out of sticks and stones. You're demanding too much of yourself. Stop shooting for the moon and instead shoot for something you can use today. Baby steps, you know? Right. Build up a new science, one based on tested and repeatable properties of magic, if indeed there are any, and see what we can fix with that. Exactly. Like, I'm saying exactly, and so does Alicia. It's like, yes! You don't need a rocket ship right now. We just need help. Any help. And there's no one on Earth who, I believe, is better equipped to provide it. True. You're smart, you're creative, you're motivated, and there's got to be a stadium's worth of technology down here. I'll make some magic, Mr. Fantastic. It's like, yay! True, Alicia. True. And in this darkened room, Reed takes in what supplies he has and begins to perceive possibilities unknown to be explored. And I love this. We see them coming in, and then we see Reed's thought processes. It's like, ooh, and it's different than what we see from Sue's force fields and whatnot, even though it's kind of the same color and kind of translucent, but it's how he's thinking. And so the smartest man in the world begins to work. You know, Alicia, if you weren't such a great sculptor, I'd say you missed your true calling as a motivational speaker. Oh, I'm actually great at many things. Thank you very much. I'm like, yeah, you can. There's many sides and facets. Arizona. Then we see Joe's almost getting his ass eaten by a vampire. But Johnny's like, no, no, no. That's right, any of you lurking in the shadows, you better listen up. These people are protected by the Fantastic Four. And guess what? Sunlight's the best disinfectant, you vampire jerks. We save people, that's what we do. We're going to keep on saving people until there isn't anyone left who needs saving. Humans are off the menu, you hear me? Go bite each other for all I care. Or cows, maybe feed on cows. But then we get Johnny pretty much being like, ah shit. Only you won't have a chance because Reed is going to solve this any second now. Also, don't feed on cows. We don't need vampire cows running around. True, Johnny. And don't feed on any birds either. In fact, forget I mentioned both those ideas. Uncle Johnny? Go back to sleep, buddy. We're good. Just had to teach some vampires who thought they'd sneak past the eye of the storm a lesson. How long were you sitting on that line, Johnny? Shh. Shh. Sleep, sis. I've got plenty more zingers when you wake. Honestly, I'm glad he was able to utilize that. That's actually a pretty good line there. Like, yeah. And now we're back to Reed. This, Alicia, assuming it works, is a cellular resonator. I'm listening. I'm far outside the boundaries of peer-reviewed science, but it seems reasonable that vampirically infected cells, undead in the common parlance, are materially changed from the living ones. Yep. Clear so far. And that means they may have a different frequency of mechanical resonance. True. So this causes infected cells to vibrate, but then leaves normal ones alone, arresting any further infection. Precisely. Honestly, it's just a theory that fits the facts. However, it is a theory that can be tested. Unfortunately, the concrete will affect my machine's transmissions. It needs to be outside. Alicia, I would appreciate your being there for the first test. My recovery is sufficient that I can stretch enough to protect you. Wouldn't miss it. It's like, ooh, seeing him kind of go through this, it's like, yeah, it's talky, but I like the progression as we see him over the device and kind of like going over how it works. We're going to be back shortly. Is anyone here familiar with the Fibonacci sequence? I'm probably mispronouncing it. Fibonacci? Nasi? Yeah. Then you're in charge of the door. I'll knock the first 8 numbers when we return. Don't open it for anyone else. And then we see this crazy thing of how Reed gets out, where he stretches himself through a keyhole, pops out, and then opens the door. It's clear. Let's go. It's really kind of cool. And then all the different kind of paneling here. Very nice. Gives you some nice kind of movement. Okay, we're outside, Alicia. I noticed the ground changed from smooth tile to rougher pavement. Ready for your first experiment? I am. Flip the switch. She does. It's working, Alicia. It's working. It's repulsing the vampires. They're like, fuck this noise, I'm out. This is it. A first step. One can imagine a way to use it against a restrained vampire, perhaps enough to destroy any infected cells. I can't believe it. We did it. We did it. There you go, Reed. I know you could do it, bud. What's the next step? More experiments, certainly. And we'll have to find a way to target it and to scale it up. Wait, something doesn't make sense. Reed, the skies are clearing too. That's good, isn't it? Yes, but my resonator shouldn't be able to affect that, even if it could reach that far. The inverse square law has to apply. But what I built should only be enough to hold infection at bay locally and at the cellular level. And that's in the best case. Things are reversing, Alicia. That's not possible. It couldn't. It can't. This isn't me. It's like, yep. Good on you for working that out, Reed. But see, that's the thing. I could understand how people are like, yeah, of course it's not you. But what's going on? And allows us to be in his head. Otherwise, we need the thought bubbles going on. And that could be good news. That could actually be great news, Alicia. And we could turn off the cellular could you turn off the cellular resonator, please? Done. This is pretty much to show that it's not him doing it. Nothing's changed. The skies are still clearing. I can feel it. The sun's on my face. The clouds are gone. This is over? Yes, I believe it is. And we didn't do it. Someone else solved the problem. Incredible. Fantastic. I wonder who it was. A worldwide event. Could involve anyone. Sue? Johnny? Tony? I love Tony's little... I'm like, come on. Like, I understand you think of your family first, but I'm like, Tony, and then, of course, it's the last one you'd think of. Speaking of, I'm getting messages from Sue, Alicia. They're fine. They're all safe. Thank God. But then comes a voice. One I'll find out later is coming from every speaker and screen on the planet, even those that are powered off. Yeah, that's... fuck. It's like the worst case scenario of like, God damn it, Doom. Your attention, please. The vampire threat is over, and this world, our world, is safe once more. Of course I recognize the speaker. How could I not? And as I do, the earth tilts beneath my feet, as it should. You have but one man to thank. Earth's new superior sorcerer supreme. No, it can't be. It can't. Victor Von Doom. Doom, a humble king of a small nation, has saved you where all other heroes failed, and Doom alone gives you your freedom back. your peace, your prosperity. And as he now assumes his new mantle as Earth's protector against all enemies, magical or mystical, Doom will have much to announce very, very soon. Fuck. It's like, yeah, this is a big changing event here for Fantastic Four because of course, Doom is their big one. How is this going to affect and change things going forward for the Fantastic Four? Now, granted, it's mainly seeing what's going on with the shakeout and ramifications of Blood Hunt. We're seeing the most kind of ones in the beginning with, looks like Spider-Man with his new one. I'm really intrigued to see what's going to be happening here and how Reed and the rest are going to deal with this. Then we also get this thing of Deadpool and Wolverine, Weapon Extraction, Part 3. For those of you just joining us, me and Wolverine are trapped in a zombie universe. Ow, ow, ow! As we see a zombie pretty much munching on Deadpool. Come on, buddy, take the flesh already. Swallow it. Don't just chew it. Fuck. Shit or get off the pot. As Deadpool gets his swords out and pretty much cuts its head off. And dead. Gross. It's like a tick with the head still attached. And the smell. Nobody's talking about how disgusting zombies are. Probably because everyone who could is dead already. Am I right? Logan? As he flicks off the zombie head that was still attached. And then we see this great one. Oh, hell yes! As Wolverine is like tracking and taking out all the zombies. And then he gets bit again. Ow! Healing factor, bozo. Neither me or Logan can get infected by whatever zombie plague you're serving here. You're wasting your time. Home, bud. Now. You spoke a portal into existence before, so do it again. Okay, fine, God. Okay, when that portal showed up before, I was tempting fate by talking about a parallel universe, so wow. What if there was a universe where instead of zombies, it was filled with hunks and babes, each as gorgeous as they are, flexible and open-minded, especially if said hunks and babes were willing to navigate the great complexities, and even greater rewards, of an open relationship in the form of a non-hierarchical polycule. Boy, it'd be crazy if a portal dumped us there. Puts his swords away. Nothing, not even a little portal? Dang it. One day I'll find my way back to you, pansexual, ethical, non-monogamy universe. Oh god, Deadpool. Wolverine just in the background cracking out zombies. That's the last one for now, anyway. Can't believe you were thinking about sex during a scrap with zombies. What's the matter with you, Wade? First off, I was talking about love, not sex. Though sex can be a healthy expression of affection, it's not at all necessary. In fact, I've been in several healthy and loving romantic relationships that were entirely non-physical. People are always all, ooh, I bet Deadpool's super into kissing. I bet that guy's been to all the bases, metaphorically speaking. But there's more to me than that. Sometimes I don't kiss at all. Shut up. There's sometimes I look around, bub. Something's wrong. As everything starts going gnarly and the universe, that reality starts collapsing. Holy shit, reality itself is falling apart. Is that bad? I feel like that's bad. I'm pretty sure that's actually really, really bad. So get us out of it! I just showed you, man. I don't know how. Whatever's behind these multiversal portals, it's not me. I can't control it. As a portal pops up. Boop. Whoa! Up next in Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider, issue 3, Wolvie tries to kill me. It's so rude and entertaining. And then we get a preview of the next Fantastic Four cover. So, I enjoyed this Fantastic Four because I liked seeing Reed thinking through and dealing with this kind of impossible situation of trying to deal with vampirism and all the kind of crazy shit that's entailing with that. Stretching himself even to the point of pretty much breaking and hurting himself, but still getting help from others with Alicia and the rest of the group that he's working with. Working through the problem. Figuring out a resonator that was able to repel vampires. I hope he kind of keeps on with that, and even though the threat is done, but I kind of liked seeing him think about the kind of problem like that in a magical kind of way, and doing his own kind of sciencing to figure it out. I loved seeing that Johnny was able to figure out that he's able to output UV radiation, UV rays, and was able to take on the vampires that way and have his own kind of fun as we see the Thing and Sue, Ben, Johnny, and Sue save all the rest of those people and everything kind of going forward, and Johnny just keeping watch and helping out, and then getting the bomb dropped of Dr. Doom being the new Sorcerer Supreme. That is going to have really big ramifications here. And we'll have to see what kind of works out on that kind of effect and what actions Doom will take either against the Fantastic Four or trying to do other things, maybe work with them. We'll see how Doom works out with this. I usually tend along the side that this is going to spiral out of Doom's control as his worst tendencies will come to the forefront and screw him over. Though, I do like to see people get redeemed and go on to a better kind of path. We'll see and talk about that kind of stuff with other kind of comics that we have on. And then we get the nice little kind of thing at the end with Deadpool, which is kind of fine and funny and interesting. And interesting mainly because Ryan North is the one writing it, who's been writing the Fantastic Four. And I'm excited to see what's going to be happening after Blood Hunt, because Doctor Doom being the Sorcerer Supreme, connections with the Fantastic Four, that's a big kind of shakeup. We'll see if that's going to be what goes on in the next issue, or if that's going to be mainly in the background as we build up and deal with other kind of like episodes of the month or whatnot, episodes of the week, kind of stories that we'll have as we get building into our new narratives of what's going to be going on with the Fantastic Four. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.